USA Warrior Stories is a not-for-profit organization designed to record, archive, and share videos of veteran stories, to help veterans make a connection with one another and to help us all better understand their sacrifices for our freedoms.
I went to Boys High School in Brooklyn, and I remember when the war broke out and I was in the gym and the gym teacher was telling us that every one of you kids are going to be in the service before this war is over.
Boom, boom, boom. What the hell is happening? The attack started about 7:55, and 2,300 servicemen got killed that day. We had no more chance than a snowball had in hell.
I was there with 4,000 soldiers on this big troop ship, and as we went past the Statue of Liberty, everybody was looking at it. Nobody said a word. And I guess everyone was thinking, would I ever come back again to see it?
They didn't give a special exam for the Tuskegee Airmen. They just gave regular flying exams. I think it was about 80 of us that took the exam, 80. They were all white. After I came out, I wanted to fly commercially. I couldn't get a job.
The mission of Honor Flight was initially to take World War II veterans to see their memorial. It has been so successful and so well received that they have now moved on to taking Korean and Vietnam veterans, along with more recent conflicts.
Well, it started on June 25th, 1950. We went to Fort Knox, the armor class school. When that was over, you got your orders. And we started opening our orders. Now, I'm the only guy who's got a wife. I go to Korea.
Had no money to go to college or art school, which is where I wanted to go. My, quote, foster aunt, she said, you know what I would do if I was young? I would go in the service and see the world. I had two of my buddies that were joining the Marines, and so I said, oh, I'll join the Marines too.
Meanwhile, in this jungle war, the United States is becoming more fully involved with each passing day.
In 1969, I guess, I was in the under 100 club. I was drafted and my number was 99.
The worst day of my life when I got my draft notice. All of a sudden you're a college student and then you get your fucking draft notice.
I was just 20 when I graduated from college. Now this is at the early part of Vietnam. So Vietnam wasn't the defining, transformative event it would become.
Now, my dad was in World War II in the Battle of the Bulge, and he was in the Big Red 1. And when I arrived in Vietnam, they gave me that patch, the Big Red 1 patch, and I said, my dad had that. So the bullet that went through my helmet, I didn't know it went through my helmet till about an hour later.
We're firing through the jungle, through the vegetation, because we want to make our way up to the top. And as we're doing this, I look to my right, and a guy named Darnell, I saw a bullet go across his left eye.
And all of a sudden, my world turned red. Blood was pouring down the inside of my visor. I gave half a thought to reaching up and pulling the ejection handle, and fortunately at that moment I realized I'm over North Vietnam.
People think about war casualties as soldiers. There's also a lot more people who are casualties. So this kid picks up an unexploded bomb and it goes off. By the time we got him, we had a 10-year-old kid with 99% third-degree burns.
The first time I had to make a notification, I got in my car and I headed out, memorizing on the way the statement that I'd have to make. The President of the United States, the Department of the Army, the people of the United States regretfully inform you that your son, John Jones, died as a result of a gunshot wound to the head. But I got halfway out and I pulled alongside the road and thought to myself, I'm going to ruin a family's life.
Colonel Davis said, well, this dignitary is standing by to speak to you. And I didn't have no clue who this could be. It's got to be higher than the colonel. And I got on the phone and said, this is President Obama.
Sergeant First Class Melvin Morris distinguished himself by acts of gallantry and intrepidity above and beyond the call of duty.
One time I had just landed, and then you pull up to the front of the ship. And a plane came in there, same type that I had. He got low out there and hit it's called the round down. It's the back end of it's the blunt end of that ship, and it broke in half.
Hello, I'm Ross Power, here in Riverside Park, Vero Beach, Florida. I was commissioned to create this sculpture as a monument to Iraq-Afghanistan veterans.
We deployed to the first Gulf War, so Desert Shield and Desert Storm in August of 1990.
We actually did a beach diversion op off of Kuwait, went in off of high-speed assault craft Zodiacs, went into the beach, planted haversacks on the beach, and extracted back out again.
So in Afghanistan, I was designated the official photographer for the commanding general. So if he needed a photographer for administrative purposes, grips and grins, basically where he was flying, I was flying.
So I definitely grew up a lot on that deployment. We rescued Iranian fishermen from Somalian pirates on that deployment, and so we were awarded the Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal.
It's kind of weird, like it was in the movies, like where you just get the and like it looked like a missile had went off. Well, in all actuality, it was a suicide bomber that had drove into our front gate.
I'm sure anyone that's been to Walter Reed can attest that it's a really powerful place. So I got there, I was 24 years old, I had just lost one of my legs. It really puts things in perspective. So I felt pretty lucky early on that I had only lost my leg and I had my life. I really felt like one of the lucky ones.
As they jumped into the rice paddy, the enemy opened up. And I was the only one standing there. I was scared shitless. I saw the ground digging up all around me. And so I thrust my chest out to receive the Vietnamese lead, right? I thought in that moment that I was going to get shot, that I was going to die.
Like a lot of veterans, when I first came home, I did have a lot of psychological problems.
One day, I stepped outside on the deck. And when I went outside, my mind stayed inside. I actually lost my mind.
What used to be called shell shock, battle fatigue. It's PTSD, it's real, it's here, and it's not going away.
I took a little bit of everything and I decided to create my own nonprofit. And, we help them through sports. So, some of them triathlon, some of them just running, some of them just want to work out. After every event that we do 22 push-ups. We do it for veterans that commit suicide.
And then this here's Athena, who is my service dog in training. She helps me with my PTSD. My PTSD involves depression and anxiety, insomnia, things like that.
These are letters that I wrote to my wife. These are all letters while I was in the Marine Corps. I had no idea they saved them. So I started reading them. And something happened.
If you've seen the horrors of war, then that doesn't ever leave you. Some of us are better able than others to sort of supplant it or put it in the back of your mind as opposed to servicing. I find that I don't talk about it, and I don't talk about it because it reminds me of too many guys that I knew.
Freedom isn't free. Veterans pay a big price for it.
Eventually they put me onto a stretcher and they loaded me onto that helicopter and they gave me a salute. The biggest struggle wasn't physical for me. It was trying to figure out, what do I do next? I've lost my purpose in life.
I think it's important that we have very smart, all races and creeds and diversity in our military because it is a reflection of us. But at the same time, if we don't have that kind of individual that's willing to put their life on the line, we will not be the free country in the future that we are today. To learn more, visit our website, usawarriorstories.org. If you are a veteran who would like their story added to our archive, email us at info@usawarriorstories.org. And if you've enjoyed our stories, please consider making a tax-deductible donation. Thank you.